I like telling stories like this because for me, it's nice to get out there and meet people, and find out their backstory. And also, I like it because for them, that gives them something they can point to and say, here's what we're about, this is what we're doing, and it helps them further their own cause. So the piece is called Cruisin for a Cure. That's the name of the organization. It's a group of people who get together every Tuesday and sometimes Fridays. And they bring their old cars and they raise money for JDRF, which is looking to find a cure for juvenile diabetes. I'd love to do documentary work, short form, long form. I'm not too picky. I like telling stories like this.
Well, as a small child, I've always loved cars. And I used to go to Beach Bend Raceway with my dad in the ambulance. We used to have an ambulance service here. And we provided the ambulance service at Beach Bend, so I kind of got a fixation on hot cars and engines and speeding cars. And only in the last 10 years or so, I've been able to, to collect some cars and start to redo some and fix up. The latest one I did was a 55 Chevrolet truck for my wife, Lynn. And I call it her truck because I used her credit card to buy most of the parts. So she likes to drive it. We bring it to a lot of the shows and enjoy showing them and just enjoy the camaraderie of being with everyone else.
The time has changed where you don't see these hot rods, the generation's changing. It's great to see the old cars come out and the young kids come out and get excited about them and actually love riding in them. Especially in the Christmas parades. They love getting the back end of them and just riding or sitting in the seats. I mean, it's something that they won't see if this car shows die out. The newer generations won't get to see these fantastic cars. My granddaughter was 3.5 when her pancreas quit. She was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes. Me and my daughter and some family members and friends decided to do a one-time car show. We had a truck given to us and we restored it, and we raised over $150,000 that year. And then Kevin decided to start having cruise-ins out here at Brewster's Ice Cream, and we just joined up with him and been doing it now for 4 years.
They came to me about it and explained to me what they were doing, and I was doing a walk for ADA and American Diabetic Association, and they said we weren't making enough money for them to help us. So I told them, I said we just wouldn't do a walk then if it wasn't affordable for them to come down here to help. And so these people, I knew that they were doing that, and I went to their first meeting and found out it was for juvenile diabetic research. And so I made a donation to them instead of doing our walk of $1,000. And they turned that $1,000 the first year into $150,000. And I kind of joined them as MC. I would do talk at their events and things. And then the next year we started doing the car shows out here. And it's been the 5th year. And we have raised over $500,000 through Bowling Green and our surrounding counties that help us, through car shows and 50-50 pots and t-shirts, and basically $1 at a time because there's not any real big donations. There's a lot of bench racing, a lot of people sitting down talking about what they did with this car then and that, and it's a lot of fellowship. We band together. If there's another cause that needs a little help, we'll help other causes as well on the side of what we do out here. A lot of people like to bring their cars out. It's a passion of love. It's an addiction of such. But it's nice just to see families out enjoying themselves and having a good evening. Bowling Green is a great community. It supports a lot of different agencies and a lot of people that need help. We live in a giving South Central Kentucky. This is our community, and we live here, we make our livings here, and we should be back in the community and help it as much as we can.
We have met several families right here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, and Russellville. That's where actually my granddaughter lives. There's some families that have 2 children with type 1 diabetes. What it's done to me as a grandmother, it has made me more passionate about finding a cure, because wanting a cure, when you see a child go through that kind of drama every day, 24/7, it melts my heart. It's something I want to find a cure for every one of the children out there.
Well, type 2 has affected my life because I have it. Type 1 that was affected my life because my dad was a type 1 diabetic, was insulin dependent, and as well as some of the people that I know, very good close friends of mine, have children and grandchildren. I have several, I have 2 cousins that have type 1 diabetic, or diabetics, type 1 juvenile diabetics. I have a cousin that has a son that's juvenile diabetic. And then 2 or 3 of the people that work on our team so closely have grandchildren and have children that are diabetics as well. And so by being friendships with them and working with them, you gain their passion for their child or grandchild to maybe see them have a little bit easier life by finding out a cure or an easy way to live with it and extend their life a lot longer. JDRF, it's Juvenile Diabetic Research Foundation, and it is for the research and trying to find a cure for juvenile diabetes, that is type 1 diabetics, which is an autoimmune disease. It's an organization that works just strictly for them, and they've come up with a lot of things that are really, really good for these kids that in the future will help these kids have a normal life. We've had great feedback from the community. We've had great feedback from what we do out here. We've had great feedback from actually getting the car show back downtown on the square after many years of absence. And again, we've got a very loving community and a very giving community. When somebody's in trouble, somebody's had a bad thing happen, or we're raising money for different things, this community is always open their pockets and their hearts and their arms to give you a hug or tell you they love you or give a donation. And that's a great community to live in.
Also, we've got some more information on some other car shows.
My hope is to find a cure, and we want to be part of the cure. We want to celebrate the cure. That's the ending to this fantastic car show, is everybody here wants to see the cure and celebrate it. That's what we want.